Yo guys, welcome back to some World of Warships. Today we're going to be taking a look at the American cruisers in ranked specifically. I think radar cruisers are one of the best ways to impact the game, and in ranked battles you really do need to be killing DDs, focusing on caps to try and win games. That's really the whole idea of trying to rank up. You guys definitely know that. And American cruisers are a pretty solid way to do that. They're not very heavily armored, but they have really nice DPM. And of course they come with a very nice radar as well. Long duration and decently long range as well. You don't quite get that 12 kilometers like you'd see on some of the Russian radars, but 10 kilometers is more than enough on the Des Moines, and then the Worcester gets 9 kilometers. So not quite as much, but it does have better concealment. So I'm going to play one of each for you guys today, talk about some of the differences. Des Moines, of course, having that armor piercing, a little more bow-in focused, trying to get into some very aggressive positions, where Worcester, you want to play a little more mid-range. In those bow-on or very close-range positions, you don't have the AP to rely on like the Des Moines might. So for the build here on the Des Moines, which we will start with, since I think it is a very fun cruiser that people don't necessarily play quite as much anymore. We're looking at a full conceal build, of course, trying to get into some very fun, unique, aggressive positions, and then we're trying to survive. Survivability expert, superintendent, helping us there, and then adrenaline rush, top grade gunner, giving us some more gun power. That gun feeder here, you call it expert loader, that's what I was going to call it, but gun feeder now is what it's called, is great, especially on a ship like Des Moines, where we do want to play with the high explosive and the armor piercing. As for the rest of the build here, pretty standard stuff. Random battles, I probably would go for range mod, but since it's ranked, we can afford to go for reload. That is a very nice feature of a little more close range gameplay like we can see in ranked battles. So let's play a Des Moines game, and I'll talk about some of the positioning that I like to play in these radar cruisers. So with the Des Moines, of course, we are looking to push up to cap zones. In this game, we do only have one battleship to worry about, and it's not one that overmatches us. That allows us to play a little bit more aggressive. And there's several cruisers here, a DD and a submarine, which is a little spooky to deal with, certainly. But you're looking for island opportunities, much like this one. We get pretty lucky here as far as the maps go. There's certain ones like Mountain Range certainly comes to mind in this ranked season as being a pretty bad map, and you don't have the island cover to really make use of. Here though, yeah, we do get ourselves a just beautiful island to use, and it allows us to get radar cover over all of CCAP here. It's very important to deny that, especially if you have a fast DD with poor concealment on your team. It does allow us to have an advantage on the off flank here. The Marceau going to get out wide there much quicker, especially than a Z42, for example. But it does mean we're a little weaker in the center here, so we do have to be a little careful about that. We also don't want to get shotgunned here by the Balau, so I'm just going to push up here. We're going to take a very passive position on this island to start with. I don't want to be the first one shot at by a whole bunch of people. I'm not going to go into the cap, for example, but we do want to play right around here. It's nice to see that the Napoli is going this way. The GK might be a little much to send that way. Unfortunately, our submarine is AFK. Although, who knows how much subs are actually going to help us in this batch. But yeah, if the Napoli wasn't going that way, for example, I would be more careful. I might even pop a radar right now just to see where the enemy ships are at, so that I know I'm not getting flanked out here. It's a very vulnerable thing, right? We're very broadside to that at the moment. And this position, while strong, is definitely weak to that. And as a cruiser player, you do want to be using your DPM to impact these matches, so Montana in here. If he stays broadside, we'll swap to the AP, but it seems like... Wow, okay, something is in the CCAP. Alright. It is a Balau. Unfortunate. Can't quite get over that with our main guns. It's too bad. And... are these guys going to continue? A little sketchy here. So, as far as being aggressive here, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I don't really feel like getting shotgunned by this guy. And that's what's going to happen here if we're not careful. So we're going to rep that so those don't actually home in on us too hard. And then what we're going to use is our acceleration here to try and get away from him. Yeah, okay. Submarines, man. Submarines. Pretty good time here. Gonna try and use the islands as much as I can to deny him from getting to us. And I turned this way just in case they were gonna full charge here, by the way. Nice. Okay, we get the sub. That's a huge, huge deal here. We have our Hydra up, so we know torps aren't coming. So I actually do feel okay about reversing out here. Considering I don't think the Marseille is coming. He's coming forward here, but I don't think he's going to push us. The worry would be, you know, maybe the Monty through this gap and we get spotted by the DD here. But what I can do now is actually play a little aggressive on the cap and maybe push in and look to cap it potentially. Yeah, the Marseille is stopping. They're going to take a while to deal with our Kurfürst there. He's got a lot of HP. So ideally... Oh, I hope our Marceau isn't eating those torps. That would suck. Okay, he only ate one. But we do want to... Yes. Go after this Monty. And then also deal with this cap zone here. Getting ourselves an early cap tick would be great. They have 3 people here trying to deal with our Kurfürst. I also need to be shooting more. I'm in Battleship Brain where I have a 40-second reload or something. That is not the case here. Nice. GK even gets the Marseille. So that's really good, although he's probably going to go down. But what we do have here is probably a cap for ourselves. It's very unlikely that we're actually going to get reset here. In fact, can I get to this Smolensk? That'd be really interesting. Hold on a second, I'm getting a call. Sorry, guys. Okay, looks like it was just a spam call. No big deal. Do I have him? I do have him. Let's go. Gotta be careful of the Monty here, certainly. No dispersion, please. Please, it's a Smolensk. No, game. No, video game. Why? Okay, there we go. We get 1, finally. Looks like an HE Montana, which is pretty good. Wow, we're getting so robbed here. I can't believe it. Des Moines, of course, having improved pen angles. Look at that dispersion, too. Wow. So robbed. But, hey, there we go. Hopefully, that Smolensk is dead. Very good. Little too broadside to this Monty here. However, he's got HE, so we're not too worried about it. And even though it's a battleship and we think, oh, I'll just farm him with high explosive, well, they're broadside actually going after him with armor piercing, you know, assuming you get full pens and not over pens and bounces on a broadside battleship, the damage is pretty good. And it's a Montana, so 406mm guns here allow me to play this aggressive, right? That's kind of the idea here. Once the angle's a bit more, though, I will swap over to the HE. Wow, we just got 0 damage out of the armor piercing. Sometimes, just not reliable. It's pretty unfortunate, because Des Moines AP DPM is one of the massive strengths. And one of the reasons you're going to be wanting to play a Des Moines over a Worcester, you're going to see some really huge benefits there, where dealing with cruisers can be a lot easier, battleships as well. Nah, I should definitely be able to get some really good hits in here, even at these ranges, honestly. Let's see, is he going to get some AP into us? Also not getting fires on him there after that many HE hits. Unfortunate. So the damage output this game is a little low, but we've played our role pretty well, honestly. You can just see just how valuable being in a central position like that can be. Monty's getting tortured by the sub. Unfortunate. There we go. The 5,500 damage salvo. Okay. They do exist. And Napoli into the enemy Z should be pretty good kill. Maybe throw a salvo out here while we're behind the island. The flexibility Des Moines is pretty nice, although you can see the turret traverse isn't amazing. One of the downsides, even though you have really nice reload for flexibility there, you just don't quite have that. You just don't quite have the turret traverse of something like a Worcester. A friend of mine loves to bring up that the Ohio actually has better turret traverse than Des Moines. Which is kind of interesting, considering how big and powerful those guns are. There we go. Monty down, 80k. Not huge damage, but we did a decent utility roll here. Got rid of the sub early. That's huge. Definitely helping our team not get tortured there for free. That was very, very nice. 80k. Seems good. Well, let's go back and maybe find ourselves a Worcester game to play. I'll show you the build here quick. Very similar, honestly. Pretty utility focused, trying to get superintendent, trying to stay alive, concealment. Extra little DPM here and there can help, especially when you're radaring something. Someone's definitely spotted within your conceal range, so at a minimum, this is an 8% reload buff when you're radaring someone, which is useful. Demo expert here, since Worcester does rely on fires a little bit more. Des Moines can obviously swap over to the armor piercing. Worcester can't quite as much, although, you know, Worcester you could take IFHE and rely on that a little more into battleships, but I find battleships have big enough superstructures that we're okay to not take it, and the 30 mil pen on the HE allows us to deal with most cruisers. As for the upgrades, Worcester actually gets more range than the Des Moines, so taking reload is not an issue even in random battles. I find having better concealment and more range just means it's a more flexible ship overall, more comfortable to play. Still taking prop mod, still want accuracy. The accuracy is better on Worcester than Des Moines, but yeah, you still want to be hitting as many ships as you possibly can. So let's see what Worcester looks like. So getting into our Worcester game here, we do find ourselves on a different map, which is very nice. A lot of cruisers in this one. No sub to deal with, fortunately. Only one battleship per team again. This is kind of wild. Last few weeks I've been playing ranked. It's been mostly battleships and a few DDs too. So maybe today I'm going to have to play some battleships after recording this on stream. That might be fun. Assuming we can find these cruisers again. But the play here is going to be get towards the sea cap for radar support is kind of the idea. Especially without too many battleships, we won't have to worry about as much cross shots from long range. It's kind of a big deal allowing us to play a little more aggressive. Marseille is a little dangerous too, though. Moskva can be, with the armor piercing, both of them. But it's not as bad. So we're going to try and... Well, that's very interesting. We're going to try and support CCAP here. Looking for opportunities to use island cover, but also might just turn up through this gap. That should get us enough coverage of CCAP to radar, while also staying somewhat safe. We don't want to give up our HP early. That's pretty bad to do in cruisers, since they are so powerful and they bring so much utility. Just look at all the consumables here. The reason I paused and said kind of that's interesting is the B cap started getting... Oh, this Groz even wants to give us a smoke. That is very kind. Alrighty. And wow, that doesn't even get us spotted. That's kind of wild. So, shooting a Kleber. Probably just got to zoom out, honestly. Moskva in radar range of us. Let's just run at them here. We do avoid those nicely. But I'm trying to push up as much as I can before getting this radar off. Hey, just give me a second. He's behind the island, guys. Don't want to use it too early on the radar. You know, they typically do... Ooh, I'm in front of the Napoli here. Whoops. But we do need to get this turnout. Typically, a DD is just going to run for the island there. So using the radar while they're behind the island, not a huge benefit to the team. This is unfortunate. Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to take some serious pain here. I should have realized the Napoli was right behind me. It's too bad. Typically, I'd need to have a little more situational awareness for myself. to keep myself safe. We're in a situation where we definitely need to be, you know, have some maneuverability available to us. So Moskva getting hit pretty hard. Very good. But yeah, okay. Do we get dev struck? No, we get so lucky there. That is wild. Okay. So yeah, you got to be aware of where your teammates are. You can't just expect them to know where you want to go. I should have done a better job there of positioning. If I just slowed down and let him get in front of me, because Napoli is a faster ship, it would have been totally fine. Not a big deal. But, you know, we're close enough to the cap here that we're able to provide... Okay, there's just bugs in this game all the time, apparently. We're close enough to the gap here to provide just so much support, right? So, didn't do too much damage, but aggressive radar cruiser play is very, very good for dealing with caps, getting a lot of control, and then winning ranked games. We can farm a Monty here now, but we're not going to swap over to the AP. And I got to be a little more careful because we don't have 30 mil armor on our upper belt. These closer ranges, that's going to be a pretty big deal. That would allow Des Moines to play a little more aggressive to tank some 406 salvos, but don't quite have that here. But you can see the damage into the superstructure looking pretty good. Reasonable, I guess. Should be trying to help on the Shima, actually. That would be ideal. Marseille is not looking at us, and I really want to help finish that off. Nice. Okay. Looking good. Actually, this Minotaur is kind of stuck facing bow in on our Stalin here. So maybe we can try some armor piercing. Help him out just a little bit. Okay, Stalin will get him even. Dang, well done. All right, bit of a steamroll. So I think that means probably should play another Worcester game. We didn't really get to see what this ship can do. We just kind of won this one. But maybe we'll farm this Marseille a little bit here in the cap. Try and avoid him collecting the A cap here. But getting the contest cap is just so huge. Did I ever mention exactly why I found the B cap interesting? I don't know if I did. Sorry, guys. Little scatterbrain this morning, I suppose. It's because the Kleber. They started capping B before us. And we had a Shima that I believe just went to A right away. So that means that since they were getting the B cap before us, it couldn't have been the Shima because they're the same speed for the most part. It could have been speed boost versus no speed boost plus speed flag or something like that, but that was the idea. I apologize for not explaining that if I didn't. Marseille with speed boost does have quite a bit of maneuverability. Another reason we don't necessarily want to take range mod on a Worcester is the shell velocity here, as you can see. All our shells are landing short, eh? Okay, there we go. Getting a few hits in. Seems like he's settled on reversing now. No fires yet. We must be hitting just points on ships that have been lit on fire already, I suppose. Because 14% fire chance on well over 100 hits now says that should never happen. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll swap to some AP here for this Monty. Close range, it can do something, but we don't get the extra pen, the pen angles, I should say, that the Des Moines has. Where is he looking? Not at us. Okay. Nice. So upper belt is the place we want to be. Nice. They do get the Marseille. That means we don't have to worry about him cross-mapping us. Decent damage in. AP is still worth using at times, but it's not nearly as reliable as something like the Des Moines has. Okay. Bit of a blowout there, certainly, though. So getting into the second Worcester game here. I'm not sure how much of that first one I'm going to show you, so you might be a little confused. we actually had pretty massive blowout. So we'll try a different one, see if we can't get ourselves some decent gameplay here. But Worcester not having AP is a little tricky. It does have AP, obviously, but it's nowhere near as good as Des Moines. Don't get those improved pen angles, and lower caliber means lower pen, of course. On a map like this one, don't really have the opportunity to have a very easy radar spot for the contest cap, but we can play a little aggressive here, or at least try to. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. I haven't actually done this before, but my idea is to run into the middle and then cut down this island here and then dip out maybe through this gap. So kind of do this kind of shape. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Marseille there probably means it won't work, but hey, what we can do is play so aggressive that we just auto-kill one of their DDs. Gearing Smolin. Smolin's a pretty scary one. And really what we want to be doing is impacting those DD fights, of course. That's the whole idea. Ooh, do you have a smoke? Okay, well, this is not always going to happen, but... all right. This makes it a lot easier. This makes it, like, way easier. Okay, this is not normal, but if you have a buddy, or you can communicate with your teammates, it's pretty crazy. Stalin radar, definitely a worry of ours. Should keep in mind how close we are to the corners here. 12 kilometer to that corner, so you've got to be a little worried about that radar. But we have a great opportunity to turn away here, which is very nice. Okay, Ragnar spotted, and damage in on Smoland is the goal now. 5k, it's pretty nice. Trying to speed juke, I suppose, which is a thing you can do because Smoland does have pretty crazy, pretty crazy speed boost on it. Slow down, speed up is pretty powerful. But yeah, that's gonna be a dead Smoland pretty quick. Hopefully our Ragnar can live that. Oh, that's a pretty big hit from the Stalin there. Don't have to worry about the Stalin radaring us though, which is nice. Because he has turned away, so we can just start to try and farm him out a little bit more. Shikushima is an option as well. Aw, too bad he did lose his life there, but we traded him out, I guess. Nice, good fire. This smoke is dying, so we gotta move here. It's a little scary. We don't really know where the gearing's at. He might be helping them push home cap, I suppose. Let's see, do we get spotted? It's a little tricky if we do get spotted since, well, you don't exactly have the same concealment as radar position, or range, I should say. I don't know how aggressive I want to be. Getting into the A cap inside the Thunderdome here is just unbelievable. It's so aggressive though. We're so broadside to Monty. You got to assume gearing is towards the B cap. Perhaps that says I actually want to go towards the B cap. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it. We want to be where we can radar the DD. That is the whole point of us. Our Elbing will get the cap here. They're not looking to push anytime soon. If we get spotted here, we might just die outright. Because I'm just a little slow today, I guess. But yeah, let's go back and get ourselves a radar on the B cap. So this is, you know, Elbing actually, you know, the weakness is dealing with DDs. And if you have a Worcester in your game, that can help. So we're definitely doing a pretty good job of helping one another. Okay, we just got lit here. Just got to get range. Where'd you get shot at? There we go. Where'd you find him? Also have a bit of the cheat code here, using that incoming fire alert to just give us like an insanely easy ability there to avoid salvos. It's kind of silly. Can I dodge this torp? That would be kind of nice. Don't think I can. Unfortunate, but the hydro was not up yet. That's okay. Our smoke fire here, I haven't played this ship in a while. 6. Oh boy, that's bad. And our engine is out. It's not good. Could just die here. Not good. Not good. Engine, please. Yeah, okay, so we're probably just dead. All right. That sucks. It was a good... Okay, so what we're gonna have to do here is get our engine back and accelerate. And turn in when he shoots to take full pens only and not take the citadels. Which is pretty hard to do. I think someone behind us shot us. Makes it a little tricky. Yep, there it is. So our engine getting knocked out there. Played a little too aggressive. That can happen. So there we go. A little more passive game and then a little bit too aggressive game. It happens. But the radars are definitely a very important thing, and the damage output into DD is super duper important here. So, unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. Playing aggressive, though, is always fun for me. It's way more fun than randoms. Just looking at where we were positioned on this map. You can't do that in randoms anymore, and that's why I'm playing so much ranked. So I think that's going to do it for this video. The cruisers are pretty squishy, but the DPM that they provide and the utility is very, very powerful. So if you do manage to use that aggressively and not die, everyone has that happen though. But playing aggressive, figuring out the limits of the ship is really important to maximizing what utility you bring to your team. So Worcester, Des Moines, both great ships to be bringing into ranked if you have them. They're pretty good in randoms too, but I find just the close range nature of ranked just so much more appealing these days. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed and have a great rest of your day.